How does this?
Turn into this?
So, there was a clip from the Titanic movie showing that the ship collided with an iceberg which tore the ship hull and claimed over 1,500 lives. So now let's jump into our topic on why is the world's biggest iceberg moving. Let's go!
Just the two of us, we can make it through.
The world's biggest iceberg is on the move after being stuck to the ocean floor for 37 years. It has the size of roughly 3 times the size of the New York City. In November 2023, recent images show the iceberg, called A23A, is now moving past the northern tip of the Antarctic Peninsula and headed toward the Southern Ocean. So today, me and Hannah will dive into the fascinating world of the largest iceberg on the planet and exploring the reason behind its movement. The most infamous incident involving an iceberg occurred in 1912 when the Titanic collided with one during its maiden voyage.
Getting to know what is an iceberg. Icebergs are frozen masses that detach from glaciers and float on bodies of water. They vary in size, ranging from small chunks to enormous islands comparable to small countries. In this part, I'm going to tell you about how does an iceberg happen. So the first one, it is because glacier dynamics. These ice masses larger than 5 meters across are termed icebergs, while smaller ones are called brush ice or growlers. In the North Atlantic, most iceberg threatening navigation originate from Greenland, the world's largest island, which is predominantly covered by an expansive ice sheet. So the second one is ice shelf collapse. Ice shelves are floating extensions of glaciers that extend over the ocean surface. They form where glaciers flow into the sea and are typically found in Antarctica and some Arctic regions. Ice shelves can become unstable due to a combination of factors such as warming temperatures, ocean currents, and the melting of ice from below. When an ice shelf collapses or undergoes significant fracturing, large sections of ice can break off. This can cause us to the forming of icebergs.
So the third one is rifting and calving. Rifting occurs when stress within a glacier causes it to crack and form large rifts or fractures. So the fourth one is oceanic and atmospheric condition. Oceanic and atmospheric condition plays a significant role in iceberg formation. Warmer ocean temperatures can accelerate the melting of glaciers and ice shelves, increasing the likelihood of calving events. Strong winds and storms can also exert mechanical forces on glaciers and ice shelves, leading to fracturing and calving. Additionally, changes in the sea dynamics, such as the breakup of ice flows, can contribute to iceberg formation by allowing glaciers to flow more freely into the ocean.
In this part, we are going to explore on why does an iceberg moving in the environmental aspect. The first factor is wind. Wind exerts a significant influence on iceberg movement. Strong winds can push icebergs in the direction the wind is blowing. The surface area of an iceberg acts as a sail, catching the wind and causing it to exert force on the iceberg. Wind patterns in polar regions can be quite variable and can change the direction and speed of iceberg movement. The next one is currents. Ocean currents play a major role in iceberg movement. Icebergs tend to move with the prevailing currents in the ocean. These currents can be influenced by various factors such as temperature, salinity, and the Earth's rotation. In the North Atlantic, for example, the Labrador Current and the Gulf Stream can influence the movement of icebergs originating from Greenland.
So the third one is tides. Tidal currents, which are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun, can also affect the iceberg movement. During high tide, water level rise, and tidal currents can become stronger, potentially affecting the direction and speed of the iceberg drift. However, tidal currents generally have a lesser impact compared to wind and ocean currents. The fourth one is underwater topography. The shape of the seafloor can also influence iceberg movement. Submarine ridges, valleys, and other underwater features can deflect or channel the movement of iceberg. If an iceberg encounters a shallow area, it may become grounded, temporarily halting its drift until it refloats or breaks apart. So the fifth one is melting. As iceberg melt, their buoyancy changes, altering their draft and affecting their movement. Melting can cause iceberg to become more unstable and prone to rolling or flipping, which can further influence their drift patterns. The last causes by environment on why did iceberg move is collision. When iceberg collides with each other or with stationary objects such as an island or continental shelf, it can alter their movement, meaning change its movement. So collision can cause iceberg to change its direction, break apart, or become grounded. Next, we're coming to a part where we explain on why iceberg move caused by human factors. So the first one is climate change. Activities like burning of fossil fuels and industrial activities release greenhouse gases, which lead to a rapid retreat and thinning of glaciers. So the second one is ocean pollution. Industrial runoff, plastic waste, and oil spills alter water chemistry and temperature, hastening glacier and iceberg shelf melting. This causes the pollutants to accumulate on sea ice and iceberg surface, and cause it to reduce its reflectivity and also speeding up the melting of the iceberg. So the third one is marine traffic. Shipping and tourism in polar regions disturb ice shelf and glaciers, causing fractures and calving of the iceberg. Vessel presence near iceberg disrupt natural process and raises collision risk, leading to fragmentation and dispersion. So the fourth one is resource extraction. Oil, gas, mining and fishing activities disrupt polar environment, destabilizing ice and contributing to glacier calving. Infrastructure development and overfishing disrupt marine ecosystem, indirectly affecting ice shelf and glacier dynamics. Iceberg is a natural disasters that we cannot prevent from happening. So what we can do is we can minimize the impact when the iceberg happen. So the first thing we can do is we can monitor the iceberg and make our early warning system. For example, we can implement robust iceberg monitoring programs using satellite imagery radar, aerial surveys, and remote sensing technologies that can help to track iceberg movement and identify potential hazards to maritime navigation. Early warning system can alert ships to the presence of iceberg in their vicinity, allowing them to adjust routes or take evasive action to avoid collision.
The second one is to improve icebreaker operations. It is because icebreakers are specially designed vessels used to clear ice from shipping lanes and facilitate safe passage for other vessels. Deploying icebreakers to escort ships through ice-infested waters can help reduce the risk of collisions with icebergs and minimize disruptions to maritime traffic. The third one is to enhance the navigation regulations and guidelines. By implementing and enforcing navigation regulations and guidelines in areas prone to iceberg hazards can improve maritime safety. These regulations may include speed limits, restricted navigation zones, and requirements for onboard iceberg detection and monitoring equipment. The last one is to make technological innovations. By investing in technological innovations such as autonomous vessels, advanced radar systems, and ice detection sensors, can improve our ability to detect and avoid icebergs in real time. Additionally, research into ice mitigation technologies such as towed or submerged barriers could offer potential solutions for reducing the risk of iceberg collision in vulnerable areas.